And to start things off, we want to spend some time tonight on a program meant to help people who have committed crimes show that they're capable of turning their lives around. Now, the program is called U-CAN ERIE. It's run through county court in partnership with the DA's office, the probation office, and community organizations. It's for younger first-time offenders of nonviolent crimes and who the court thinks might be at risk for violating again in the future. Now, here's how it works. They plead guilty to the crime, get mentorship, and stay out of trouble. And in return, a year later, they can withdraw that plea and plead to a lesser crime. Now, this week, the program graduated its second defendant, a man who looted a liquor store during the George Floyd protests 2 years ago. And joining us live in studio to talk about this is Erie County DA John Flynn. John, first, let's start with that case that your office highlighted this week. Tell us about Daniel Hill and his involvement in the program.
So, as you recall, Mary Alice, during the George Floyd protests that were occurring across the country and here in Buffalo, there was some young people that were involved in looting various stores here in the city of Buffalo. And unfortunately for Mr. Hill, basically, he was just the slowest one of his group, quite frankly, and he got caught, and no one else did. There was a liquor store on Elmwood Avenue that was broken into. There's no indication at all that he actually broke down the glass and broke into the store. He basically got caught in the store, and from what we can recall, he stole a couple packs of cigarettes. At the end of the day, he got caught. Like I said, he was charged with burglary, and like you alluded to in the introduction there, he is a first-time offender, had no prior record at all, and here's a young man who we don't want to see back in court. So I made him plead guilty to the burglary, which is a felony. He went through this year program, completed it, and then after a year, I allowed him to withdraw his felony conviction and get a misdemeanor. I didn't let him go completely. He was still held accountable for what he did, but at least now he doesn't have a felony hanging over his head for the rest of his life.
So let me ask you, a lot of people in the public may say, okay, that sounds great for Mr. Hill, but this is a taxpayer-funded program, so what does the public get out of this? How do you answer that?
Mr. Hill not being back in the criminal justice system. I mean, every time a repeat offender comes back in the criminal justice system, that individual costs the taxpayers thousands of dollars. They cost them time from my office, court time, jail time, sheriff's time. The taxpayer dollars add up when people get involved in the criminal justice system. So we got a kid in his young 20s here who had no prior problems at all, did something stupid during these protests, and gets some mentorship and some help now and some guidance on how to get a job, how to keep a job, job training, et cetera, for a whole year. And now maybe, hopefully, he's not back in my world, which is going to save the taxpayers thousands of dollars.
Now, do you have data from how this program has worked in other cities? I know you had mentioned during the break that one of the local judges came up with the idea of giving this program a try. And is it a pilot? So if you show that they're not really complying, will you pull it?
Sure. Yeah, like you said, Mary Alice, Judge Sue Egan from Erie County Court and her great law clerk, Melissa Reese, they came up with this concept. And again, we've had 2 people who've graduated. 2 more are in the program. And, we'll see. Other cities have done something like this, different tweaks to it, and they've had good success. So, we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping. If it goes south and if people start, getting caught back up in the criminal justice system, then absolutely I'll pull it. I'll pull it and put them in jail.
So let me ask, do you think that there's potential here that this program might have legs, that it could be applicable to use in other ways?
Yes, I think it's applicable perhaps to use in misdemeanor world. So right now we're doing it for felonies, but there are hundreds, if not thousands of misdemeanor cases, low-level misdemeanor cases that are happening in all of our town and village courts and in Buffalo City Court every day. And again, if we can target some of these young people, we can definitely, perhaps, not have them come back in the system and again, cost the taxpayers more money.
We've been talking with Erie County District Attorney John Flynn about the U-CAN ERIE program, an alternative for young first-time offenders. We wish you the best with this. It seems like it could be a benefit all around. John, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.